Hey, welcome back to my class. Today we want to look at tokens in C. Now, what are tokens? Tokens are the building block of your program, right? Like you are trying to build a house and then you are putting one block on top of another block and then eventually you see the whole structure. That is exactly what tokens are. So we are going to write a small program and then I'm going to show you how many tokens are in that program. So what happens is that every time you write a program, the compiler goes into the C program realm and then break this, your program, your source code into tokens. And then the next stage of it is the passing stage, where it's going to check if those tokens are combined properly. That is what the syntax. So if they are not arranged accordingly, then it will throw you a syntax error. So the same thing applies in English language. What I'm saying now, what is happening to you is unconsciously you are breaking down what I'm saying into uh, uh, different parts and then putting them together to see if what I'm saying is correct, is syntactically correct in English, right? So what we do is this. Let's write a very simple program, which is what? This include, right? stdio dot h. Then we'll close this. So we say int, then main, we call our main function. Then we do this. Then inside this, we'll say printf, and then we'll just simply say hello world, right? And then we'll close this, and then we'll say return 0, and then we close this, right? Now, this is a very simple program that we've written. Now, what the compiler will do when the compiler sees this source code is to go into the realm, break this source code into tokens, which is what? The smallest building block of your program. And then begins to check if you've arranged these tokens properly. Else, it will show you what? Syntax error. So if you look at this, how many tokens do you think we have here? So what we are looking at is that the same way the data are coming from data realms, meaning the data types are data realms. The same way those data are coming is the same way your instruction is coming from different realms. So we have the keywords realm, we have the identifier realm, we have the operator realms, like that. Then you begin to combine them together to form instructions. Then at the lower stage, you now have these instructions combined with what? With the data to process them and give you an expected output. So if you look at this, we are looking at this. So if we count this as a token, right? This is another token. This is another token. This is another token. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the token. This is the token. This is a token, right? Now this is a token. This is a token. Then the whole of this is a token. Then this one is another token. This is another token. Then this is a token, right? This is a token. This is a token, and then this is a token. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have a total of what? 15 token in this small program. So what the compiler does is that it will check, break it down into these various tokens. And then the next stage will be what? The passing stage. So the token and the passing is actually what is happening inside your compiler. So it will now check if you combine these tokens based on their rules, which is what? The syntax and the semantics, if you combine them properly. If that is done, then it will compile, converting them to what? To the object code. Then your program, the instruction will now go expecting data, mixing it up with data, and calling the CPU to work on it, which is the king. So this is what I want to show you in this class, that every time you write your program, which means you cast a spell, right? If that word spell affect your modern sensibility, you call it program, right? Because your source code is actually what shapes the what? The reality. So what you are calling program is actually a spell. So what we are doing now is what we are having. I'm preparing you with the ingredient that we eventually use to what? To create a spell. Because this is a spell. This is a built-in spell, printf, that is going to cast this on the screen. That is basically what is happening. So I'm just showing you the component part. And then once we are done with this component part, we'll now begin to assemble them together to create a spell that we'll keep using to solve various problems. So this is just what I want to show you in this class, how your compiler breaks down your source code into tokens and then begins to act on them. So before I go, let me just sum it up for you to see the operation of the token and your data. I've shown you data type, and now I have shown you token. So let me explain the relationship. Now, this is what happens. So you have this RAM, you have another RAM, you have another RAM, right? Now I break this down this way. Then you have this side, you have this side, and you have this side. So this is this, then you have this, and then you have this, and then you have something here. So what happens is this. This comes here, here, and here. This one comes here, here, and here. Uh, Let me use red. So then you have this, and then you have this. So what is happening is this. We have your keywords, right? Then you have your operators, you have identifiers, right? Now when you combine them together, you create an instruction here, right? We are creating an instruction here. Now in this side, we have data types. We have the int data type. You have the float data type, for example. You have the character data type. Then you can combine them to create a user-defined data type. User-defined data type here. And then you come to this realm. This is the logical realm. This is the logical realm, for example, that will now combine this instruction and combine the data to give you an output, which you call what? Information. Which you call an information. So that is basically what I want to show you. So what I'm doing to you now is I'm showing you the various ingredients, and then I'm trying to put them together for you to understand how the developer is writing the source code, and then how the data is gotten, and then mesh with this source code to create an instruction that the CPU, which is what the central processing unit, inside the hardware RAM is going to work on, which is the physical space. As I've always told you in all my classes, this is not me. This is the hardware layer. So this is just like a radio receiver in your house. And then there is the radio station, which is actually me, transmitting to this radio receiver. How does that message from me get to this physical body for manifestation? For you to understand what I'm saying. That is exactly what programming is all about. At the end of the day, the language we are learning, we will use it to create spells, which means create programs that when we cast this spell, it will solve problems. That is basically what we are trying to achieve. So in this class now, I've just shown you tokens in Python, in a C language, how your source code is broken down into tokens, and then the compiler will check and be sure that you've actually arranged your tokens properly before compiling it and then combining it with data. So in the next class, I'm going to show you how this data are, um, are are captured, right? How users input data so that these functions can work on it and then give you an expected output. So till we see in the next class. Bye bye.